Tatum. He is a former Tucson police officer and co-founder of Blexit. What do you make of this concern of drug cartels, Brandon?
Well, I think that this governor should be ashamed of himself because he's just making up stuff. When he first came out, I saw it with my own two eyes. He pandered to the black community. He stoked and poked the bear of the black community. And then when people reacted, now he has to backpedal and blame the cartel. I looked at the videos. I can clearly see this is Antifa and this is Black Lives Matter. There are white people and there are black people coming out, burning buildings, burning police cars, stealing from stores, all in the name of what? There is no purpose, there is no plan, there is no strategic value in what these individuals are doing.
Well, yeah, it's a riot. Usually, there's no real plan, but to uh get your voice heard, and the message they're trying to get heard is that um stop killing innocent people. This the state shouldn't be allowed to kill people, and get away with it. People are expected to like follow the laws of society, except the fact that you know we have a group of people that don't follow the laws of society and are protected. um we don't have we can't call it a system of justice when one group of people have to fear repercussions of the law, while the enforcers of those laws don't fear any repercussions whatsoever.
And they should be ashamed of themselves. I feel like justice is moving at an appropriate course. This officer has been arrested, and these people are just out here trying to make a come up, trying to, I don't know, get out pent up anger from COVID-19.
Well, okay, one cop has been arrested, but the other cops that were involved haven't been arrested, nor have any of the other countless number of cops been arrested for the murder of innocent people. So this is the anger that people are expressing. They're angry about the fact that you know, over and over and over again, you can watch videos, read stories of cops killing an innocent person, namely black people, and no charge ever coming to them. And it's people are just finally fed up with it.
I'm not sure, but they don't have a plan and it's not working.
Brandon, I want to talk to you about the opportunities that the cartels may be exploiting because as a former Tucson police officer, you know firsthand on that front line the drug trade coming across that border in Arizona. I've spent a lot of time on it, and Tucson is the first stop to routes all across the country. Do you believe you had a lot of rioters tearing down Phoenix last night? Do you think that last night the cartels were able to take advantage?
No, I do not. Based on my training and experience and how cartels move and operate, they're concerned with drugs and trafficking. Burning down buildings and stealing TVs don't seem like something that the cartel is interested in doing. It doesn't help make money. These are low-level crimes being committed by people who are I don't know what they're trying to accomplish. I have no idea, and it's shameful that what they're doing is counterproductive. If you're burning police cars and you're destroying the police department, your tax dollars are going to have to pay for that.
Well, anytime a police uh, uh, kills a person, and somehow uh, the victims end up winning compensation, taxpayers have to pay for that. And how many times does that happen where uh, people, uh, the cops lose some kind of lawsuit and have to pay uh, the victim's compensation, and it's always from taxpayers' money. But it's just material goods, a police car, and a police building that can be you know remade. The lives lost due to the corruption of police cannot be rebuilt.
If you're going out and stealing TVs, burning down businesses, black-owned businesses, or other businesses in your community, those businesses are not going to come back. The perception of your community will go down. The property value of your community go down. The economic success of your community goes down. All in the name of what? One man was killed by a police officer. That should be investigated. I believe that police officer be held accountable. But to destroy the whole country because of one incident.
It's not because of one incident, it's because of hundreds upon hundreds of incidents where police commit some kind of abuse and get away with it. It's the anger of decades of police abuse, and uh, it's not gonna stop until the system changes and cops are punished for their crimes instead of rewarded for their crimes. Like, anytime a cop, kills a person, they're put on paid administrative leave. So they're pretty much paid to kill a person and face no consequences from it.
Is foolish.
Are you concerned by the decisions being made by the leaders, whether it was the Minnesota governor and the mayor there in Minneapolis who had a slow reaction after finally a police precinct was overrun? They decided to crack down. Or Mayor de Blasio in New York, who is applying a light touch. Are you concerned this puts officers' lives in danger?
Oh yeah, it makes my blood boil when I watch people overtaking police departments. What world are we living in? We live in a country of law and order. If you begin to vandalize people's property,
Okay, we live in a country of laws and order, but yet, we consistently have cops break the contract of law and order and get away with it. So how can you truly say that and believe it when cops can always, for the most part, get away with any crime they commit? It just, in my opinion, it's just an illusion of law and order when we have a subset of society that can easily disregard any law put in place and disregard any human life at a whim.
you are not protesters anymore. You are criminals. When you begin to breach the police department, destroying evidence, trying to steal weapons from police vehicles, you are not protesting. You are not peaceful. That is not covered under the Constitution. You are rioting and you are thugs. And these police departments all around the country should have stood strong instead of looking cowardice. If I was the police chief, it's time to set the tempo. If you're going to come out and act a fool, then you're going to be met with force. Period. If you want to protest peacefully, like Martin Luther King and others who got things accomplished, then we're
Okay, Martin Luther King protested peacefully, and people still killed him for peacefully protesting. People have been peacefully protesting for years. And what has happened? Cops are still allowed to kill black people and get away with it. So what's the point in peacefully protesting? Basically, begging the cops to stop murdering people, begging the leaders to enact some kind of change in order for it to stop, and we people have been begging and nothing happens. So riots happen when people are unheard. So the only fault, uh, the only the only thing, uh, the people at fault are the leaders of our governments, the cities, the states, the federal government, because all police departments of all levels have some kind of history of abuse by cops, and they do nothing but either ignore what goes on or try to cover it up. Dude, like the cops that killed George Floyd, all of them had 12 plus misconduct uh complaints against them, with only maybe like a couple or so that had any kind of disciplinary action. All the others, they pretty much didn't matter. And cops also are allowed to uh, delete from their records any kind of, past complaints and stuff that they have. So that they basically have a clean slate when they go to the next department if they do get in trouble. So pretty much everything is, there's a bunch of laws and abilities centered around keeping cops um, and allowing cops to retain the ability of being cops while committing whatever crime they want, because they know they're going to get for the most part they're going to get away with it. They got the other cops to protect them. They can make up whatever law they want. While in court, more than likely people are going to believe cops over citizens. So, uh, you know, if you try to file a complaint against a cop, more than likely nothing is going to happen. So, I kind of lost my point.
We're cool with that. We'll block off the roadway. We'll make sure that you can peacefully protest and exercise your constitutional right. But anything other than that, if you don't want no drama with the police department, then you probably should be a law-abiding citizen.
That's a strong message to the writers. What's your message to so many Americans out there that are not?
I mean, I gotta say, even when people are law-abiding citizens, cops kill them. Freddie Gray, if I remember correctly, traffic stop, told the cop he had a gun. Cop told him to take the gun out. Cop shot him while he was taking the gun out. Uh, legally allowed to carry a firearm. Um, there was another lady. Cop shot her in her house. If I remember correctly, uh, he was trying to claim, due to the fact that he saw a gun, he was allowed to kill her. And she was doing nothing but being a non-threat in her own home. So, I mean, following the laws do you no real good. I mean, George Floyd was, obeying cop orders. He wasn't resisting, and cops killed him. So I don't understand why people say just, obey the police, be law abiding, and if you, follow the law and stuff, cops won't kill you, when that is far from the case, when history consistently shows us that cops will still kill law abiding citizens.
Not only hurting because of what happened to Floyd, but also are afraid of the climate we now have in cities.
Well, I think we need to operate in facts. Look at the research. Look at the data that's being conducted. Nobody should be running around afraid that police are gonna gun you down and kill you for no reason. And hold yourself accountable. If you are not interacting with police officers and you're not committing crimes, then you're not going to have negative interactions. I think people need to come together.
No, that's not even true. Lots of times, cops will just harass people for no reason. Um, like the stop and frisk law that was found unconstitutional in New York City. Cops use that law just to harass people and constantly violate their constitutional right to unreasonable search and seizures, and that law was used mainly to target Black and Hispanic people.
Quit all this race baiting BS and let's come together and have solutions. Go to your local police department because most police are good, most citizens are good. The cowards and the evil people can hang on the sidelines. Come together, let's negotiate things that can help better our communities, which is something that I'm going to make sure that I get done in my city. Do those things and we can have a resolution. We can have police brutality be minimized and mitigated. But until you're willing to sit at the table and come together as peaceful individuals, nothing will ever happen. And I want to see America do better.
I gotta say one more time, people have been peacefully protesting for, I don't know, basically forever to end the murders of innocent people by cops, and nothing has happened. So there is no point in pretty much trying to reason with the people that seek to justify your murder in whatever way they can. I mean, it's 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 kind of like, trying to reason with, a chronic domestic spousal abuser. You know, you can try to sit down and be like, hey, what you're doing is hurting me. But if they don't care, well, it's not going to mean anything. You can beg and beg and beg and plead and plead and plead. But if they don't care, nothing is ever going to change. And when, in a situation where groups of people are oppressed consistently, well, riots happen. In lots of situations where a wife is abused, um, they end up killing the abusive husband. So there's a simple way to solve the riots, and that is to start punishing cops. And it's not just the one cop or the four cops that murdered George Floyd, but all cops nationwide at every single level for human rights abuses that they have committed.